Hello YouTube, how's it going? It's a professional here, and my top 5 list videos have gotten popular. People have asked me to make some more, make list videos on GTA, and this is a video that I've wanted to make for some time also. It was this video is top 5 features that I would add to the game or remove to improve gameplay performance, to improve GTA Online. These are things that I've just come across so many times that, I think, really, that could be improved, that could be done better. And I think a lot of people would like it. And a lot of these choices that I picked here, a lot of people support these. I think the majority of people would support these changes. But again, they're my opinion, so take it as my opinion only. And let me know what you guys think down below. And if you have your own suggestions for like top 5 features that you might want added and fixes, anything like that, let me know down below. We're only going to be focusing on things they could add to the game, like things they could like change around, move around, things like that. We're not going to be focusing on glitches in this video because there are so many glitches that need to be fixed in this game. But in this video, we're just going to focus on things that could be done better, things that can be changed in an update that can be run better. So let's start it off, shall we? So starting off here, the ability to buy full supplies from the MC computer. And my main source of money on this game is MC businesses. That's where I get the majority of my money from. And one thing that kind of always annoyed me is, I wish this computer was, you would be able to run it better, because this computer, the open road, it is nice because I can just run to my clubhouse and I can check the supply levels in all my businesses. I don't have to go to each individual business to see how much supplies it's at. And I buy supplies. It's very profitable. If you want to know why I buy supplies, watch my video why it's better to buy supplies than steal supplies. But anyways, this computer should have the option to buy supplies, in my opinion. We have the option to buy businesses here, but I don't know why we don't have the option to buy supplies. It's, my businesses here, they're not extremely far from each other, but they're not very close either. Like, for instance, the counterfeit cash, the cocaine, and the meth are pretty close to each other, but weed and document forgery is a little bit of a drive, and document forgeries across the Alamo Sea. What would make it really nice and useful is if I could just log onto this computer right here. I could just choose my document forgery business, and I could just buy full supplies right here, or I could buy full supplies on weed, counterfeit cash, cocaine, meth. If I had one computer where I was just running all the things, it would save me a lot of trouble, because then I wouldn't have to go back and forth to this business, to this business, to this business, and buy supplies, resupplies. So if I could just buy supplies right here from this computer, that would be nice. And also, they could add that to the CEO cargo. The CEO cargo, one thing that's really annoying about CEO cargo is when you take it back to your warehouse, the fact that you got to go all the way back to the office again, you got to repeat and rinse over and over again. If you could just, on the computer in the warehouse where you delivered the crates, if you could choose another warehouse and just spawn 3 crates from that computer right there in the CEO cargo laptop, it will make it a lot more useful. So these computers, they have potential, but they should be able to be used for more. Like, I should be able to buy full supplies, and in the case of cargo, I should be able to buy crates from the computer in the warehouse. It shouldn't force me to go back to the office every time. That's kind of annoying, and I don't like the driving to each business. I think a lot of people can agree on this one. Number 4 on this list is increase the pay for stunt races, and adversary modes. The problem with this game, and I've just seen it happen so many times, is that Rockstar puts so many adversary modes in the game. There's so many different adversary modes, I couldn't even name all of them. There's so many modes that I haven't even played. And, there's all these stunt races in the game, so many of them, and these stunt races can be fun to play with your friends and mess around in. But if I'm trying to look for a public stunt race, and I get into one, for instance, or even an adversary mode in this case, and in this case right here, we are versing 15 other players. So we got a full stunt race, it's a 16-player race. The majority of players in this lobby were new players, and I got kind of lucky that I got matched up in that lobby, and I managed to win first place in this race. I'm not the greatest racer, but I tried my best, and I managed to win first place. It was a 2-lap race here, and what kind of really was disappointing is right after the race ended, I only got 22 grand for being first place. And I went through this whole race, I did 2 laps, and I only get 22 grand, that's it. The pay needs to be increased on these races by a lot, because every time Rockstar releases these adversary modes and these new races, what they always do is they make it double money and double RP for like a week or 2 weeks, and then right after that event week ends, people just stop playing them. And like, one of my favorite game modes was the Bunker Series game modes, Bunker Series Slasher, and so forth, and I can't ever find a Bunker Series game mode anymore. I just can't find it. I'll be sitting in the lobby, and nobody will be joining. And the reason that people don't join is because the pay is just not worth it. It's just not worth it. The pay needs to be increased. The pay that we get currently on this needs to be doubled. The double money that we get, that should be the standard pay on these races. It's just it is just way too little right now. It's way too little. It needs to be buffed. It needs to be increased because people are not going to be playing these modes. That's the problem. There's so many races they added, so many adversary modes, and people just don't feel like playing them. They don't feel like playing them because they don't. They take a lot of them take too long, and they don't produce enough money for you. And you know, in the amount of time that I did this race, I only got $22,000 for it. In that same time, I could have just done a headhunter. I could have done a headhunter in CEO work or a sightseer, and also on top of that, I probably could have stolen a crate cargo and brought it to my warehouse in the time that it took me to finish this whole race, and I could have made more money that way. So the races, they definitely need a buff. They need an increase. I think we can all agree on this. A lot of these races and adversary modes, they need an increase in pay. It's just way too little for what it is right now. And when they increase it, a lot more people will play these modes. Because if they don't increase the pay, people just aren't going to be playing these modes. They're not going to pay attention to them. They release all these adversary modes, and people just ignore them right after the double money and double RPNs. I can't find a lot of them, and I'm sure when you guys try to search for these races, and you guys try to search for these adversary modes, you're probably not able to find them, because people just don't want to play them. Number 3 on this list is being able to upgrade MC delivery vehicles, and I guess we could throw in hangar vehicles on this as well. And you know, I don't understand, because when the CEO update came out in June 2016, and with the crates were a great business when they came out, and what was great about them was when you went to the warehouse and you went up to the red table, you could upgrade your delivery vehicles. You could upgrade the Titan and the Cuban plane. You could put on armor upgrades on them. You could put on a jammer that your co-pilot could use. You could upgrade the armor on the tugboat, and you could increase the tugboat's speed. You know, things like that. Increase the armor on the brigade truck. And you know, a lot of the MC vehicles, they already have bulletproof tires, but I don't understand why we're not able to upgrade them further. And also, you know, it would be nice if we would be able to pay like imagine if you were able to pay like a small fee, pay like an extra $10,000, and you're able to choose the type of delivery vehicle that you want to use. That would be great, wouldn't it? It would avoid the post-op nightmares, because a lot of people, they don't do the MC businesses just because of the post-op vans. I've had a lot of people tell me they refuse to do the MC businesses just because they could possibly get the post-op van mission. The post-op van mission is one of the worst missions in the game, and this counts for everything, contact missions, everything together. It's one of the worst missions in the game. It's definitely the worst cell mission in the game. So if we had the option to upgrade the post-op vans, imagine we could, and Rockstar could charge for this. You know, they could charge money for this. Imagine be like $250,000, $100,000, whatever they want to charge the amount. If I could pay for an upgrade on the post-op vans to make them faster, increase the armor, things like that, it would make doing MC businesses a lot more worth it. A lot more people would play these, and if you could just upgrade these vehicles, like upgrade the dodo plane, the seaplane, make it go faster during the cell missions, upgrade the speed on the buzzard, things like that, you know, increase the armor, and it would help a lot with these delivery missions. And you know, the post-op mission, it would go from taking like around 15 to 20 minutes to taking like less than 10 minutes if we were able to upgrade the speed on it. If it had like the same speed as, for instance, the armored Boxville or other vehicles like the speed of the brigade, then it would make doing it a lot more worth it. So I don't understand why we still are not able to upgrade delivery vehicles. Like here, this truck is decently fast here, but it's one of the better delivery missions. This truck should have better armor though, because if a jet comes out of nowhere, he could just blow me up. I really have no defense from it. Or even like a jammer. If we could put like a jammer in these trucks, and you know, I could my passenger activates a jammer, and the thing goes off the radar for like 2 minutes or something like that. And then that time, I would be able to get it to the marker without the griefer seeing me. So if there's some guy coming in at me with the jet across the map, I can just activate the jammer, goes off the radar, lasts for like 2 to 3 minutes, however long the jammer ability would work, and I'm able to deliver it safely, and I don't get my stuff blown up. So, like, they could add so many different things. Let us upgrade these vehicles. And, you know, they could do the same thing with the hangar sales when we have all these different air vehicles. You know, increase the speed on them, increase the armor, give a lot of the delivery vehicles flares on hangar missions. That would help, wouldn't it? So I don't understand why these vehicles aren't being able to be upgraded. Let me know what you guys think down below on this point specifically. This is one of my main points. I really want MC vehicles to be able to be upgraded, because I just use MC businesses so much, and I get the post-op missions so much. And if I was able to upgrade those post-op vans, I don't care the amount of money I would have to pay. I would definitely upgrade the speed on that, just so I don't have to deal with the post-op vans anymore. Number 2 is a passive mode revamp. I think a lot of people saw this one coming. Passive mode definitely needs to be changed around. I don't have anything against passive mode, but I have something against people using it to sneak up on other players, especially in weaponized vehicles, and then killing them with it. Take a look right here. I was in an oppressor, I was in passive mode, then I get out of it, and I just blow my friend up here. He had no chance to even react. And people do this all the time, where they go into passive mode, and then they sneak up behind somebody, and then they get out of passive mode at the last second, and they blow somebody up. And the problem with passive mode is that it only has a 1-minute cooldown. If I was in charge of it, I would make it a 1-hour cooldown. There's no reason that you should be going in passive mode and going back out of it so frequently every other minute. It should be 1 hour, and then that would limit the amount of times people can use it. It's nothing. I don't have anything against passive mode if people want to get out of combat, but this is not the way that it's meant to be used. You can't be using it to sneak up on people like this, especially in weaponized vehicles. And if you get into a weaponized vehicle, it should kick you out of passive mode. Just like if you're in a Luxor or a Swift and you get into passive mode, Luxor Deluxe, and you use passive mode, it'll kick you right out of it. So if you get into a weaponized vehicle, a jet, an oppressor, deluxe, so any kind of weaponized vehicle, and you're in passive mode, it should kick you right out of passive mode. There's no reason why you should be using passive mode in those weaponized vehicles. And some people tell me, I like it flying around in my jet in passive mode. Well then, another potential solution would be that if they get into a jet in passive mode, they can't get out of passive mode when they're in that weaponized vehicle. That will be another solution. And this happens all the time in jet dogfights. Somebody goes into passive mode in a fighter jet and then gets up behind somebody. The second the other jet chases them, they go into passive mode, and then the second they get up behind the other person, they get out of passive mode and blow them up. It takes no skill to get kills like this. This is not the way that passive mode is meant to be used. And here, take a look at this. I'm flying a jet. I'm getting locked onto by a few missiles. All I need to do is enable passive mode. I don't need to take any kind of evasive maneuvers. And enable passive mode, missiles go right through me. This is just unfair. This is not the way that passive mode is meant to be used. And take a look right here. All I need to do is just get up behind the person and get out of passive mode. He can't kill me while I'm in passive mode. Get out of it at the last second, get behind him when I feel comfortable, and blow him up. So passive mode definitely needs a revamp in 2018. And here, before we get up to number 1, we have a special extra, sports tournaments. This is what I would put into the game, and I personally like playing golf, but I know a lot of people don't like playing golf and don't like playing tennis, and there's arm wrestling and also darts. What they could do is, a lot of these activities, they could add tournaments to them, and how it would work basically would be like, say like 4 people, we have like a game of golf. Each person entering would put in like 25 grand, and then like first place would win like $100,000, and it would be like money to like win first place. People would play the activities also to make money, and a lot more people would play these activities, and the player base on them would increase. And like you could even like expand it, like maybe make a golf tournament, for instance, of like 8 players, and like each player puts in like $100,000, and then like first place is like 800,000, or then you could have like a second and third place also, prizes for those. If like people knew that there was money to be made in these modes, and like whoever is the better one at playing golf or playing tennis, and they could make some serious money doing this, then a lot more people would play these modes. I don't see why they couldn't put tournaments in. I think it would be pretty fun, and I think it would be pretty fun watching like a huge tournament of this and players getting eliminated and in first place winning a lot of money. Number 1 is kill-death ratio revamp. Kill-death ratio has been in a problem in the game for a long time because it's so unbalanced, how the stats are actually calculated. And, the problem with this is that kill-death ratio in this game takes no skill. And for one, I still don't understand how kill-death ratio can be in a Grand Theft Auto game. I really don't understand how. And, here's my friend. He's simulating what a tryhard does. This is not a tryhard. This is my friend. Just letting everybody know in the video. But the problem with kill-death ratio in this game is that kill-death ratio, even though I don't think it should be in the game, but it is, it takes no skill to have a high kill-death ratio in this game. Absolutely no skill. I don't care what people will tell me that it does take skill. It takes no skill to have a high kill-death ratio. Anybody in this game can have a high kill-death ratio. All they need to do is just use jets, oppressors, any kind of weaponized vehicle that gives them an advantage, activate Ghost Organization, go off the radar, and then go into passive mode, and then kill themselves every time when they're about to die. That's what a lot of tryhards do to preserve their kill-death ratio. And Rockstar took a step in the right direction by making easy way out count towards your kill-death ratio. But the problem here is now that they can't easy way out, a lot of the KD warriors, what they're going to do now is they're going to just blow themselves up with sticky bombs or RPGs, just like my friend is doing here. It makes it for very unfair gameplay. And I can think of a few solutions to get rid of the KD problem. And like the first one would be that remove KD entirely from the game. I don't think that's going to happen.
A second solution that I can think of would be that any kind of death in free mode affects kill death ratio. Whether you're killed by a cop, an NPC, any kind of death would affect kill death ratio. Or 3, what we could do is we could have it that suicides are also counted towards kill death ratio. So if you kill yourself, you blow yourself up, that would also count towards kill death ratio. Or 4, my personal favorite solution to this problem would be that kill death ratio is only a stat in team deathmatch, deathmatches, and adversary modes. Only in adversary modes will kill death ratio count. Kill death ratio will not count in free mode. So no matter how many kills you get on people, it would not count in free mode. That is my personal example, what I would do. And this would really show who has a real KD, who has a really talented KD. I'm not the guy for KD. I don't care about it. I just think KD is a stupid number. But if you want to see who has a really good KD, if you made it so that you can only get KD, your KD stats will only be affected by death matches, team deathmatch, adversary modes, and not in free mode, you will see how much people's KDs would drop. They would drop so much because they can't get cheap kills in those team deathmatches and deathmatches like they do in free mode. In free mode, you can play completely unfairly. You can play with a jet, you can go into passive mode, you can do a ghost organization, you can go off the radar. You can't do that in team deathmatches and deathmatches. So if KD was just relying on those adversary modes, the versus modes, the deathmatches, team deathmatch, adversary, the last team standing, any kinds of modes that involve killing other players, you would see who really has the high KD. And I don't think KD should be at all in free mode. I don't understand why it's even there, why it's under your scorecard. It doesn't make much sense to me. And in most other games you play that involve kill death ratio, especially shooters, which kill death ratio is popular in, if any kind of suicide counts towards kill death ratio. So why doesn't suicide count towards kill death ratio in GTA? Easy Way Out does, but other suicides should as well. And like I said earlier, if kill death ratio is removed from free mode and only put into adversary modes, you would see who has a really high kill death ratio. I'm not defending it, but I don't think that kill death ratio is going to be taken out of the game. Those are a few plausible solutions that I have. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you have any other solutions to these problems. If you don't think any of these are problems, let me know below in the comments, but make sure to explain your argument why. Any other things that you guys think I missed, anything else, anything that you personally would want added to the game or fixed, let me know below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.